Hi guys, welcome back to Charmaine's Kitchen. A pleasant good evening to each and every one of you. Tonight I'm going to be sharing a sweet recipe with you guys for no other than pineapple surprise. If you want to see how I'm making this pineapple surprise, come on down and let's get started. So for our pineapple pastry today, we need 250 grams of butter, and that's equivalent to 9 ounces. So I have cold butter here. I have in my bowl 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm using salted butter, so I'm not going to be adding salt to my flour, but if you're using unsalted butter for this recipe, you can add about a half a teaspoon of salt. The next thing that we need is some ice cold water, and I had my water in my freezer, so it's really cold right now. So the next step is that I'm gonna grate my butter into the flour like that on this grater. I want to dust the grater so we don't have any sticking going on here. And I'm gonna grate all this butter into the flour to make a beautiful flaky pastry dough. Once I finish grating the butter, I will come back and show you what the next process is. While I'm grating the butter, I'm gonna mix it into the flour. So we're gonna have it separated all over in the flour. We have to really hurry up and do a quick job here because butter tends to melt very quickly. So always keep your butter in the fridge. So all we have to do at this point, we're gonna mix in the butter, and I wanna use my cold water now before our butter starts to melt, and we are gonna just need about 2/3 of cold water. So I'm gonna measure my water, and then I'll come right back and we will continue mixing the dough. So now I'm gonna add our cold water, and we're gonna knead this, and this is gonna help that butter to stay firm. And we're looking for a nice flaky dough for the finish. Let me add the rest of the water. And now everything is nice and cold. So you just want to knead and press. Knead and press till we get all those pieces in. It's gonna be a little bit flaky, but that's fine because that's what makes our pastry dough nice and flaky. So I'm gonna get a piece of plastic wrap to wrap our dough, and we're gonna leave it in the fridge so it can form up more before I start working it. So we're gonna take our dough and we're gonna wrap it up in our plastic wrap, and we're gonna leave it in the fridge for about half an hour to an hour. The longer you leave it in the fridge, the better it will be for you. And we will come back when this is ready. So now we're gonna open back our dough and check how our dough is doing. We have to do a lot of folding now with the dough. Oh, I wanna make a square dough, so I'm gonna try to. Yes, it's really nice and firm. I'm gonna try to make a square dough before I go ahead. I wanna flour my countertop. And we will put the dough out. I'm gonna try to work with half of the dough because we don't want the dough to get warm again on us. So half of this. Wow, 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 wow. And we're gonna put the other half back into the fridge. And then I'm gonna start rolling this and folding it out. So it's right now a little bit hard. So we have to take our time and roll it out. And we're gonna keep rolling and folding, so we can get nice layer on our pastry. So what we wanna do now is keep folding so we can make layers, because this is the puff pastry that we're working to get right now. And then we're gonna roll again. Actually, let's go opposite. So a lot of rolling and folding for this part. And I love, you guys know that I love to work with dough. I really do. For me, dough is so therapeutic. So now we're gonna fold again. Let me go a little bit more. Then we're gonna fold, fold, and fold. And we're gonna roll again. So guys, after a lot of layering, folding and rolling and folding and rolling, I cut that other piece of dough in half. And I'm just gonna do another fold on this one. And I will so leave it, and I'll start peeling my pineapple for the final step. So the more you roll and fold, the more layer we're gonna have on our crust for this pineapple surprise, because we're making a puff pastry pineapple surprise. So I'm gonna keep working this dough here, and then I'll come back and show you guys the final step. So I'm working with the other piece of dough now, and this one is nice and hard, just came out from the fridge. And like I mentioned before, it's a lot of rolling and folding because we want to develop a very nice crispy flaky pastry. And the only way for us to get that is for us to fold and then roll and fold and roll. So I'm gonna continue doing that, but I want to show you guys the main part of it. So I'm gonna go like that. I'm gonna flour my surface, and then we will roll again until I have a thinner piece of dough to work with when I roll it out, or until I develop a lot of layer to my satisfaction. Then I will stop the rolling and layering process. This can also be bought in the store. You can buy puff pastry in the store. It's way faster than what I'm doing, but there's nothing better than your own homemade puff pastry. If you don't have the time, no big deal. Grab your puff pastry from the grocery store, and that would work fine for this recipe as well. So today I want to do it from scratch to show you guys what it looks like. So now I have all my dough rolled out the way I want them. I'm gonna be putting them in the fridge while I'm preparing the pineapple for our pineapple surprise tonight. So now I'm gonna peel my pineapple for our pineapple surprise tonight. And you can use canned pineapple as well for this recipe, but tonight I'm gonna use a fresh pineapple. So pineapple is done peeling. I wash it out. My mom always teach me to wash the pineapple with salt after you finish peeling it, because sometimes the pineapple scratches your mouth when you eat it, and that salt will take away the scratchiness. So I'm gonna cut them into round pieces. I have to take out the core from the middle. And then I'll come back and show you guys the next step. So the core is very simple to take out. I'm using a smaller knife and I'm just running it around the end of the core. And then once you have a short knife, it will come right out like that and the core is gone. If I'm not making this specific dessert or pastry, I wouldn't be cutting the pineapple this way, but this one here I have to cut it round, and in order to keep it intact, this is the way I'm taking it out. Very easy. So now I have all my pineapple peel and the core I take out. I need some raspberry for this recipe, and I have my dough here. I have the rest in the fridge, but as I am working with it, I'll take them out. So now is the best part of it, to put my pineapple surprise together. So let's start, guys. So I want to roll out my dough now to a nice big square, and I will show you guys once I finish rolling out my dough. I'm taking my time because I want to keep it to a square, and I want to keep it to a perfect square. So I have my nice big square dough here. I'm gonna make some little cuts on the end like that. Let me get it nice. And this is a beautiful, beautiful pineapple surprise. I call it pineapple surprise because there's a surprise inside. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other two ends. We're just cutting like a L shape there, like that. And then we're gonna take one of our pineapple and we put it in the middle here. I just want to make sure these guys are cut, so when I'm ready to fold it, it's gonna be cut properly. And then we take one of the ends. See, I didn't get it all through here. We take one of the ends and we fold it in there. We take the other end and we fold it in here, and we continue to do that with all the ends. And then we take one of our raspberry and put it in the middle. And so one is finished. I'm gonna brush them with butter after I finish, and I'm gonna continue to do the rest. So now we're gonna do another one, and same thing, we take the ends, put them in the middle, just like that. You might happen to get some of your squares bigger than some, but that's okay. And then in the middle again, in the middle, and with our raspberry in the middle. That looks super. So now I'm gonna brush our beautiful surprise with some butter before we put them into the oven. And we need some melted butter for that. I have my oven preheating for 350 degree. I'm gonna pop these babies in and we will come back to a beautiful surprise. So I have the first 4 finished here, and what I like to do is sprinkle some powdered sugar on the top to make it a little bit more prettier. Not a lot, just a little. Look how that looks. That looks beautiful, look. So I'm gonna do all the rest. Just a little bit of powdered sugar on the top, and it looks pretty. It's gonna add a little bit of sweetness, and this looks like one tray of beautiful pastry just waiting for us to dig in. Look at that. I have a success story to share with our one and only sister Donna from the US. She followed my recipe, and I'm very happy to receive this success story. And she made dal and rice and pumpkin. I'm gonna show you guys her success story right after this. So here is my beautiful tray of pineapple surprise. All I can smell right now is like a bakery or something hitting my nose with that beautiful pastry pineapple scent. Before I do my taste test, I have 2 birthday shout out to do, and I want to say a happy birthday to Chris Sukpal. Dad is celebrating his birthday today, so guys, please join me in wishing Chris Dad a happy birthday today. I would also like to wish my father-in-law Morris a happy birthday today. So now I'm gonna take a bite for all the birthday people. So right here I select myself a nice one, and look here at the pastry. Guys, it's nice and flaky, look at that. And there is a crunch to the pastry. So I'm gonna taste and let you guys know. Cheers. Did you hear that crunch? So nice. And some of the juice from the pineapple is sitting right on top of the pastry. I'm gonna take a bite now with the pineapple, and that pastry have a nice soft crunchy thin crust, really delicious. After your dinner, it's such a good pastry to have because it's very light, or you can have it as a snack. So my kids will be very happy tomorrow on their snack time. So I'm gonna take a bite for you guys. It is still juicy. Wow, amazing pastry. And I have a cup of tea to take that all down. So if you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you will consider subscribing. Until then, I want to say to you guys, all are invited for my beautiful pineapple surprise tonight. I love you guys. Stay blessed, stay safe. Bye for now.